just solo. I mean, his team played fine. Like, don't get me wrong, they weren't like dead weights or anything, but he just like did everything. And
Yeah. The Dark Moon event was made around players' experiences facing off against Miracle.
that was actually Miracle.
That was actually Miracle
the
every
Invoker,
time. That's why it was so goddamn hard.
playing on multiple.
Yeah, Valve just paid him, put him in this room, and said, "There you
He's
go,
an
boy."
AI. But anyway,
That explains a lot, though.
it does. Next pick coming out here. Let's see. What do you get against a Coddle and a Nyx? Well, I mean,
BKB heroes.
Yeah.
Both heroes are very annoying with. I mean, all of Coddle's spells, Mana Leak, Blinding Light, Nyx with his stuns. You need BKBs or you need Magic Immunity. Juggernaut maybe with Blade Fury, Omni Slash as well. It could be an option.
sure. And that's a hero they like to run a lot on Team
Yeah.
Liquid, so. Probably.
Lycan's-
sure.
I
I
mean,
mean,
you mentioned the Lycan. Yeah, it still doesn't seem great, but.
And Juggernaut, of course, a hero that aggressive. It's one of his classics. So you're kind of taking it away from VGJ as well, which would be very nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're taking their time thinking about this one. Man, if there's one thing Pro Dota has taught me, that hey, it's Rubik.
That's the one thing that Pro Dota has taught you?
Wow, yeah, actually, you want to know one thing that Pro Dota has taught me
Alright,
is
what is
that
that?
Rubik sucks on everybody but Team Liquid. You put Kuro
Alright.
on that
What?
Rubik, it is.
I mean, Kuro or
I'm
GH.
Yeah.
sorry that you're talking about
Oh, yeah.
VGJ.
What?
FY is on that team.
I'm currently offended, Slack.
FY
There's a
is
lot of good
considered
Rubiks.
Whatever.
the
I don't-
best Rubik
it's not a
player.
bad hero.
I've seen
Ever.
FY lose with Rubik. I seldom see Kuro.
I mean,
lose
I'm
with
sure
Rubik.
he's lost a game with Rubik, but it doesn't mean he's not amazing. with
I
it.
mean, another deny pick. Both of these teams, as we said before, have very similar heroes, and they kind of know each other very well. But Rubik is no joke on a Team Liquid. God, you guys got very uppity about that, man. Gracious me.
Don't you touch my F1.
Don't you talk that way about F1.
I mean, you already, if you go up to a player and say, "Well, you look really pretty," in your gods, you know, there's a certain claim that he
you
has made.
just don't say that. You just don't say that, Slay.
You don't want
That's
to
out of
insult
line.
FY.
Noted. I'm
Yeah.
going to write that one down. Thank you, team.
Alright.
Okay, next pick coming
So
out
with the
here.
Ruby picked up, it really doesn't reveal too much. I like this. We know Team Liquid.
That's not BM.
Yeah.
We
Oh.
saw that before, and he won
Yeah.
such games. But
I mean, yeah,
Warlock,
but
yeah.
you got beaten by Rubik mid. You get skilled on.
Well, yeah, but you get beaten by Miracle, so it's like,
I know,
you
that
know.
cancels out.
Yeah.
I could get beaten by a Wisp miracle. I mean, it's not a big deal. Anyway, Warlock going to be picked up as well. Very good defensive hero, starting to find some more use here in the current meta. However, kind of a strange lineup here. A lot of intelligence hero, a lot of squish coming
Yeah,
out
the
for
two
VG.
support. Normally you wouldn't see like two such squishy supports, but Coddle played in the 4 gets a lot of farm. Will get the Ags, the mech if you need.
Yeah.
I think they wanted some more team fight and counter initiation. Like Batrider goes in, blinks Lacquer someone, and pulls them into the team. Often you're very grouped up for like a Rock, Fatal Bonds.
Yeah.
It's a good
Oh,
way
there
to
we go.
All right.
Oh.
That's dirty Liquid.
Yeah.
What's
okay.
some-
Not
man.
you.
So if you're VG, if
Well,
you're
today's going to be a
VGJ
long
right now,
day.
Yeah, great day.
Yesterday we had a quick one.
Buckle
well,
in, guys.
if you're VGJ right now, you know, okay, there's a timer. Are you gonna not just go in super aggressive early game to
Or-
try and?
Or they say, let's get like a super late game carry and just try and beat it late game.
That's
you
the
know?
Naga illusion. That's not the real one.
No, that,
0% win
That's the
rate.
real one.
what are you talking about?
Wait, these stats are less
She looks
impressive.
more blue when she's in
She
illusion.
looks more naked than the normal
Okay.
Naga.
What
so
is wrong
Naga
with
was
you
only
guys?
played twice and lost both games in the
Yeah, that's not great.
qualifiers.
Yeah, that's not
not
great.
great.
That's not great.
But-
But,
But was it on Team Liquid?
But think so. I mean, they won most of their games, so they played it in DAC qualifiers and won at least one game with it. So
Okay.
they're not
yeah.
too worried
I
about.
mean, Matuma and Naga Siren is very scary.
yeah.
No win rate will change. But if you're VGJ, maybe you want to go a bit more aggressive in the early game, so you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah,
fat
let's go
Naga
for the
Siren.
classic already. Let's just get the Gyrocopter in. If anyone's going to prove the Gyrocopter can still work, you know, aggressive and VGJ.
Oh,
Do it,
jeez.
guys.
That's
Gyrocopter.
not it. I don't
Blast
think it's
from
a
the
hero
past.
versus Naga. I think the two options you have against
Look
Naga
at him. He's
is
aggressive
get a
side. Put me Gyro. Come on. Or Jug. Gyro or Jug. Let's go.
Storm. Yeah. The two options really are go like contest the super late game against Naga or get a pushing carry.
Yeah.
Like you can't just like if you want to go early game to beat the Naga, you have to also have push because if you get kills early, but you can't push. It's pointless.
But there's no push in the Storm Spirit.
No. So they're looking late game for now.
You can
I
still go
imagine-
for a Luna or Terrorblade or something. Terrorblade
Yeah,
has push and late game potential.
Yep. You can try to get like something that has a bit of both. There's a good chance they get aggressive, like on a more greedy hero here for the play for the late game a bit.
I feel like VG, they need a lot, man. They need somebody that can frontline, too. I mean, somebody that isn't going to be just instantly blown up here, especially with the Slardar damage coming out. Anybody gets picked by Bat Rider, they're pretty much dead unless it's Storm. I mean, it's looking scary. I need a little bit of beef on that team.
Doom. He's
Doom,
beefy.
it's time, guys.
No.
From the
Dude.
Naga.
It is not time
Definitely not.
for the Doom. Thank you.
Think about it, Sheever. Midas and Devour Gold.
No. Tank. He gets level 10 plus 300 HP.
Whoa.
Ooh.
It's
No.
good in every scenario, Sheever.
No.
Think about it.
I would really like to see Doom coming out today by VGJ, but I don't think it's gonna
Not in
happen.
this draft.
Not right
Yeah,
now.
not in
You don't want to pick Doom against a Rubik.
They need some right click damage.
And
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut.
It will be the
Yeah,
Juggernaut.
no surprises really that.
Late game. I mean, this is like an all stages kind of hero. It's like a
Yeah.
well-rounded hero. Has strong laning stage, good early mid game, can scale late game, pretty decent. Assuming you keep up in farm.
Yeah.
Doesn't keep up in farm with the Naga though. Is the big thing I guess to know there. But
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. I mean, as we said before, against the Naga, you either want to go full in early or full in late. Jug's kind of a mid-ish, you know? I don't know how
Yeah.
well he does in the super late game.
he's well-rounded because you can itemize to go all in early game, or to like it's based on your itemization. It changes like whether you're an early game or a late game
Okay.
jug. Like you can go for like the farming Maelstrom jug build, get like a Yasha into Maelstrom and just go for the late game.
Yeah.
That's maybe what you have to do. If the game's not looking like you're going to crush it and win super fast, you just go into that Maelstrom. But
What do you
Very,
want to see Miracle play today?
Let's go Tinker.
Tinker.
go on the Rubik
I was
still.
thinking Tinker as well, actually. But then you are not going to get your Rubik, yeah.
Oh, I say, yeah, he might have farm issues then. So between the two of them. I mean, I'd still hope for a Rubik mid, but I don't know if Liquid would necessarily do that in this situation.
Yeah, that'd be pretty rough now. They've got a couple people that can deal with that.
But I mean, it does obviously give the whole map pretty much for the Naga to farm, and then you and your teammates are making the plays.
Also, you're saying like a TA could be alright. You've got the minus armor from Slardar. Okay, not like an evenish matchup versus Storm at mid. Again, I think you still want like a BKB type core because you're against the Coddle Nyx.
10 seconds
Uh,
remaining.
It will be Marana.
Elusive.
Oh.
So what do we think
Elusive.
about this this draft? I'll start with you, Jake. So you can't
Oh.
copy what anybody else says.
Great. Well,
Great.
I feel like VG, they've got a lot of burst damage. They got a lot of ways to blow the other team up, but it's going to be all about that kind of early game, mid rotations kind of deal. It's going to depend on how much Liquid can get done, what kind of pressure they can put on, and if they can make enough space for Naga, we're going to see an easy game coming out for Liquid.
That's a very educated answer. I was not expecting that. Odie
Okay.
Pixel.
Well,
What do you
thanks.
think?
I think VGJ have got a chance here. Aggressive on the Juggernaut, you cannot just write that out. I know that Liquid, obviously with this Naga Siren pick, is a very fail-safe for them.
Sorry, I just saw this is the bet. Oh, it's very, very Liquid favorite there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's surprising.
Keep talking, Owen.
I don't think that's surprising, but VGJ, let's do it. Let's do it. This team, one of the hottest in China at the moment, they've got a draft they're going to be very comfortable with. I mean, I know Liquid has as well, but I think VGJ can do
Liquid's
it.
draft is like comfortable for them, but they've got to go late game. They've got Marana, and who takes a lot of Marana doesn't do a whole lot of damage to get the axe. So I feel like it's much on the more on the greedy side. So I like VGJ's draft, but I think it's still Matu Naga, so it's still slightly Liquid
Alright.
favored.
Well, we are going to find out what is going to happen in this first game, and the commentators will take you through it all. It is Lyrical and Merlini.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to Star Ladder. We're here in our first game of the day. It is Liquid facing off against VGJ. Merlini, how you feeling about the draft? How you feeling this morning?
Feeling excellent. We have a good one to start off. Yesterday we had a couple of stomps, or maybe 3. But today, yeah, we have Liquid versus Vici. Haven't seen too much of Vici gaming, probably not so much from the people who are betting too, because the odds are heavily skewed.
It's true. It's feeling a lot like teams are feeling that Liquid is going to be the one to win. But I do believe we have a game to get into now. And, you know, honestly, in my eyes, thinking about this series, it's really a story of Naga Siren. How are you going to be able to deal with that? Do you think that they have the heroes to make that work?
I don't think it's a Naga Siren patch,
Okay.
personally. I think some teams have experimented with it, but it hasn't been like, oh my god, they have Naga Siren. Like last patch, remember Boston Major MP picked Naga Siren? I was like, okay, yeah, this game's over. But in this patch, not so much anymore. And I'm saying this as a Naga Siren fanatic.
Yeah, you are disgusting.
I am disgusting, but it's just it's too slow. Like farming Radiant-based heroes just not the best this patch.
Yeah. And you can see we do have a little pause for the moment as teams are getting their settings all correct. Want to make sure they're playing at the highest level because, to me, I feel like Vici is a team that a lot of people wouldn't be expecting to do well. And like we're talking about, the odds pretty heavily in their favor. But I've been hearing some rumblings, a little bit of whispers that this is a team that people need to watch out for. And if I'm looking at this Liquid team, it's a lineup that they were really wanting to get that Coddle, I believe. Throughout the qualifiers leading up to this, they ran Coddle and Brew in the first 2 picks whenever they possibly could. And seeing it getting taken away in those early stages, it feels like Vici at least have done the research. They know what to expect going into this one.
I would hope so.
Well, yeah.
Thanks, Gabe.
No problem. In other words, they prepared for the game. That's what I'm trying to say. And you can tell GH right here. He looks prepared himself. What a guy.
Boots first Slardar on him.
Yeah. That's the hero that he's been playing a ton as well. You know, there was some talk going into this one about how well he was going to perform because it's one of his first really big stage events that we've been seeing him at. But at least for now, I think that putting him on a hero that he's comfortable with at the start roaming around the map, making things happen, maybe help out the mid a little bit, could definitely be the way to go.
I think it's a lot harder for supports to choke, too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if like Rubik doesn't make this like huge play in Steel Black Hole, like you're not going to be super upset about it if you're the cores. Like if a core just like fails to pop his BKB, that's like much more noticeable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like I could choke on a support role.
Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely possible to. I'm just saying it's your room for making plays is much tighter. I think in the parts where people remember the game. You don't remember the early game plays from support. So when you think about a game from yesterday or a couple of games ago, it's usually like the middle late games, the game deciding moments.
Yeah, and it's something also to mention is that speaking of early game sort of befuddlements, the Freeze early game that we saw during the qualifiers, he was struggling a little bit, but when he got the space to really make a lot of plays, Storm Spirit was one of those heroes that he played exceptionally well and was able to carry his team to victory. So I'm kind of curious, like, if you look back through his history, the teams that he was playing on before, he was playing on eHome Luminous, which is like the 3rd string eHome team, and then just gets brought up amidst these TI winner finalists and all of this stuff. So I think that he's been performing really well as well.
Befuddlement. For some reason, that makes me think of Elmer Fudd from Looney Tunes. I don't know why. I guess you could have just said baffled, but
That's held for a different player, I think.
it is. So I was like, okay, why do you use that word? Okay, I was like, okay, I know why. But then it just reminded me of Elmer Fudd.
I wanted to do the Elmer Fudd accent, but I think I would just kind of destroy it, and then that wouldn't be good. The Elmer Fudd accent, it's like very clutch stuff that we see there. Miracle on the Mirana as well. We see right there as we're still waiting for this pause. Not exactly sure what the issue is.
The Mirana is to set up with the Naga Siren mostly. A lot of the good options were banned, like Shadow Fiend, Queen of Pain. I think they probably want someone who's more magic based, I suppose. Blinding Light's like super annoying to deal with, but I don't know. Like, they have the Slaughter, but they have no synergy with the Amplify damage, which is like almost no physical damage with them. So I'm like BKB isn't the worst thing in the world versus them, but I think it's for the easy setup with the Sleep Arrow into the Storm Spirit, lock him down, kill him. Even versus Jug, I think you can do it. I don't think you can spin out of it.
That was one other lane that we did see a lot, though, was a Slardar Batrider duo that Liquid was running a lot through the qualifiers as well. So that might be what you also end up seeing. It does look like we are about to hop back into the game now, and, well, quick movements out. Probably no great contest towards the Bounty Rune.
There were a lot of smokes at the start, which we missed. We got into the game a little bit late, but yeah, I saw Batrider smoke early, along with the rest of Liquid, to get those wards up on top. They blocked, I believe, both the spawns on that top lane.
Yeah, so no pulling going to come out from there as we go into the quad cam. Between the two of us, we've got 4 eyes, so we can figure out what's going on all of these different bounty rune areas, but should be a quick trade-off. And to you, what do you feel like is going to be sort of the storyline of this match? Is it basically just can they finish the game
This
before
match or
Naga
this
gets
game?
huge? This game, that's a good point.
This game is, I would say a lot of this depends on the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit's a very volatile hero, and especially with someone who's not as experienced as some of the other mid players, he has the potential to choke, as you mentioned, which I think is far more likely for a player like Freeze and GH, given the circumstances in this game. Like, he could easily, firstly, just lose his lane to Miracle in the early game and die, and like, even if he does okay in the lane, which currently he is not doing, he could potentially just die a lot later to getting lassoed while he tries to split push. He could easily like zip into a lift. This is a game where like if you're a badass Storm Spirit player, you will die like, just a few times. And if you are a not so great Storm Spirit player, you can die like 7, 8, 9 times easily.
Now, well, and you saw right there as well, just that early rotation in. You mentioned the boots on Slard are providing that ability to go in and find a kill with a little bit of help from his friends. So now they rotate up towards the top and bringing the Slardar to help out the Batrider. Do you feel like this is a little bit scary for Fenrir, the Warlock in that lane?
No.
Okay, no.
It's very worrisome for him because he can't pull. That's the biggest problem. It's not like he's going to die, but he's not going to get experience. So when they need a team fight to try and get back in the game, that's their big team fight ultimate. You're not like, oh my god, we have Omni Slash, let's 5-man right now. It's, we have Rock, let's 5-man. But if he doesn't get 6 very quickly, then that means it's going to slow down the game, which is, of course, in Liquid's favor because they have the Naga Siren. So you want a fast-paced level 6 on that Warlock. So I'd be very concerned for him because you're as a jug, you're like, don't take my experience. I need level 6 so I can do stuff and push towers and get my Aquila and whatnot. But like as the Warlock, what are you supposed to do? It's not like you're going to really kill the bat in this lane. So they have issues.
Now, a lot of very greedy-ish picks, and we'll have to see if they're able to deal with it. But so far, as CS is concerned, it feels like it's a pretty even split across the board. Everybody getting what they want. And Storm Spirit, despite that early death, he's feeling like he's okay right now.
He is doing okay at the moment because the Warlock is scouting the Slardar. Slardar, Fenrir and GH are going at it in the top lane, and Fenrir's still level 1. He's getting beat down by this Boots first Slardar. Slardar pulled 2 tangos to the mid, and he's only had to use 1 so far. So he's gotten a lot out of the early game already, and he's just wasting more and more time. I don't believe he is going to die here. I guess he can just go into the creeps.
He's getting whittled down by this Shadow Word. He should be able to make it over to this camp where the Centaurs are. He's going to have to time this just about perfectly, and, well, there it is. Neutral creeps give him a little bit of a ride back home. Yeah, that was so much time.
It is a lot of time, and Fenrir is still struggling to even get level 2. He isn't going to have boots for some time, and also that was quite a bit of time for Aggressive to actually leave the lane, and now Batrider has more CS than a Juggernaut. Now that lane is, it's not like disaster, like normally you designate disaster to like, someone getting a triple kill, but it's not going great for them at all.
Rubik even just pulling back in ROTK, throwing him a little bit off kilter there, and GH is now going to rotate in as well. I don't know if they're going to be able to find a kill here necessarily since ROTK realizes they're in the area, but at the very least causing some concern.
They need just secure Naga's farm. This lane it's not super important that Naga gets kills. If she does, I mean, that's always great, getting kills, but it's more important that her CS is good. So, like, if you're a Naga sider in this position, you'd much rather have, like, 20 CS and no kills than, like, 10 CS and 1 kill, I would say. You just need that, whatever farming items you usually get, Aquila into raindrops, and GH is still just being very, very annoying.
Stealing the bounty rune as well away from FY. He wants that one. You talked about the need for the levels on the hero, and certainly Coddle's another one. You want to make sure you're able to get the split push going, or at least the counter push coming out eventually. But the lift back now onto Storm Spear. He does have a haste rune and should be able to just zip himself out of there.
It's just a bad precedent for VGJ that he just let the Slaughter do whatever he wants. Like, he's been in all 3 lanes just causing like tons of disruption, and what can they really do about it aside from run away? And Aggressive is going in pretty deep.
Yeah, top lane spin onto mind control, trying to bring him down, and he's going to run through the Firefly now. This might end up being a kill if he's not careful, dropping the healing ward as well. My God, that was a ton of damage. And
mind control is super ready for that. He had a TP scroll at like level 2, so he knows that he just needs to waste their time.
Well, about 5 minutes into this one, the CS remarkably has been relatively even across the board. We're not seeing any lane just be dominantly won, and I guess that shouldn't be too much of a surprise considering how much talent we have on both of these teams. But do you feel like this sort of sets up better for either team? Oh, arrow?
He gets
What?
hit by the arrow.
Okay, pull back in. Stun bar is going to help out with this one. That's an easy kill for them.
He was very likely looking at the minimap at that exact moment because of the sound of the scan when it hits, and it's like it's very close to the mid lane, and it's nighttime. You're looking at the minimap a lot more often than actually checking for arrows. So it looked like an easy arrow to dodge, but I'm pretty sure like it came as a scan hit. You're like, oh god, where are they? You look on your minimap, you take your eyes off for half a second, and then boom, you're stunned and you just die. Really unfortunate. Oh, another lift back in there to Storm Spirit. We'll see if they're going to be able to find him. Arrow follow-up as well. Oh, they pulled him right into it. Three deaths in the early stage, and I mean, it's hard to really blame them for a couple of those considering how well they were played by Liquid, but it's got to hurt. Yep, he's in that I'm about to chain feed for the rest of the game kind of situation. He does have the keeper to kind of babysit him in the later game with like Chakra and then TV Home and Recall for another full mana pool, which can kind of boost the Storm Spirit from poverty levels to levels of actually being able to do something with the amount of mana that he's given. But the window for him to actually destroy people is very, very slim in this situation.
And looking over at the net worth now, Miracle starting to take a pretty dominant control. And you think about this guy getting an early Aghanim Scepter up and being able to just run in onto those backline support heroes could just be tragic. But, well, is there anything that they really can make happen once you get your level 6 on Storm Spirit, or do you need to wait for the Warlock ulti?
Level 6 is just, I'm going to die less for him.
Okay.
It's not really, it's not, the early game is like not really Storm's forte in this game. I think, like generally the timing that you're looking for is you want your Bloodstone Orchid by the time that Naga gets like Radiant spots, I would say. You want those items before like around 20, I would say, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hit any sort of timing like that in this particular game. I also don't think he's been particularly good about managing your gold. If you're a hero that's pretty weak in the first 5 levels of the game, like a Storm Spirit, and you know you're going to die a lot, you just buy a ton of small items. You can buy a Soul Ring to work. Fenrir looks very dead.
God, yeah, Miracle, this is the scary part now, too, is you just can run people down.
Yeah, and Freeze is also, like, he didn't buy a Soul Ring, he didn't buy a Magic Stick. Like, now he has them in his stash, but I think he could have probably had that and then some had he spent his gold prior to the 3 times that he's perished in this game. So, like, he can't really jungle right now because Slaughter is in his business. And they need some ultimates right now. Nyx is level 6, so perhaps ROTK can get something up for them.
Oh, well, I'm not sure if it's going to end up working out for them. Do they have detection, though? Does look like they're going to be charging up the Illuminate Blast. ROTK just going to be able to walk away from that one. So, yeah, no detection there.
That is actually a pretty big window for them to do something because now Matumba Man, he doesn't have ult for 3 minutes. That's one of the longest cooldown ultimates in the game, although it doesn't really seem like it.
Initiation, they've got him. Juggernaut's coming in as well. Can they do it? They're trying to body block. It looks like they're going to be able to run him down. Spin as well. Matumba Man is too fast, though, slowed up by the Overlord pop, but now they're going to be able to get the arrow follow-up onto the Storm Spirit, and, well, Omni Slash to turn around. They're going to be able to pull him back in. So much damage coming out. Magical, though, onto the side of Vici, and with Kuro here as well. He's going to steal Omni Slash. Turn it now back against ROTK. Oh, God, no. VGJ. Are they going to be able to run him down? Arrow from Miracle. He catches him as well. The spin trying to turn onto this one, and, well, he's just going to be able to run out and away. Miracle is able to escape, and they might even be able to kill him. No, they're just going to back out. Jeez.
Jeez is correct. There were a lot of misspells. Freeze did not really hit with his first 2 big ball lightnings onto the Naga Siren, so he actually had to use all his mana to finish off the Naga Siren. And then on top of that, the Nyx Assassin missed his Impale onto the Bat Rider as he was trying to lasso the Storm Spirit away. So if they had like connected on the Ball Lightning a little bit earlier or gotten the stun, perhaps Storm Spirit could have thought about making it away. But as it stands right now, he is standing at 4 deaths. ROTK trying to make things happen. He is actually the most important playmaker, I would say, right now.
Well, they're going to be trying to stack up and do these Ancients now. Mind Control should be able to finish them off, and ROTK.
He's calling Freeze over right now.
All right.
But Freeze is a little far away, and he's like, that's very.
Well,
just
Mind Control is
dubious.
actually going to end up getting caught out here. It looks like they are going to be able to make this kill happen. A nice pickup there for them, definitely. A little unfortunate there for Mind Control.
Yeah, he did have the Prowler camp. Anytime you're a Bat Rider and you get that Prowler camp as an Ancient, you're happy. So I don't really think you can say unfortunate for him.
Yeah, that's true enough. Well, 6-2 so far, 10 minutes in. Liquid, they did win that big fight down bottom. How much is that hurting Vici J's lineup at this point in time in the game? Is it something where it's really starting to feel under the gun with this Naga Siren?
Yes, just because Storm's died so many times. Like, I think they're going to have issues where he just is just poor. And Juggernaut's constantly forced to like spin defensively and can't really go in.
That was a bit of an awkward movement there. Miracle ends up going down, and well, Freeze is going to die for this one. They do find that kill. Nicely played.
That was a very nice zip by Freeze right there.
Oh.
He's back in.
All right, we did it. He's made it happen.
Oh, and an immediate smoke afterwards. They are heading top. They want to deal with GH immediately. They ping him out. The smoke probably a little bit obvious from them, but they think that little bit of extra move speed can perhaps get them the kill, but it is just a little bit too obvious that no one is hitting on that tower in mid.
Well, this is something that we've seen a lot of times in this tournament, is early laning stage not necessarily translating into great mid-game. And this is a lineup from Vici J, a team that excels at their team fight prowess. So I'm wondering now if they get these couple of kills under the belt, they start putting themselves in a position where they can actually take these fights. And
Perhaps.
Warlock ulti.
But Warlock ulti, he might just die to the Blink Lasso. He just picked up his Blink Dagger on the Bat Rider. This is why the smoke is coming in. He doesn't have enough mana for Omni Slasher and Juggernaut, which could be an issue.
Jump in, they got the Warlock. That's a great pick right at the start. Trying to pull him down. Can they get him down in time, though? Fenrir does have the ulti if he wants to drop it. Is going to hit onto 3, but there's no follow-up.
Yeah, there is no follow-up indeed. And Mind Control really with the eyes on the prize right there. And perhaps they didn't expect that the Blink would come around that time, but you know, it's 11 minutes into the game. It was also daytime when that gank happened. They might not have had vision of the Warlock had it been nighttime, so just a bit of an inopportune moment to push for Vici J, and the first chaotic offering is completely wasted.
Yeah, and it's almost like clockwork. You have to hit those each and every time, make something happen with it, and well, now it's starting to feel even more under the gun than they were before. Naga Siren, I believe I saw, was about halfway to the Radiance there as well.
Yep.
So
that is one that they needed. They needed that rock into a kill into a tower badly.
Also looking at Mirana about halfway to her Aghanim Scepter as well, and Vici J are going to be able to push down this tier 2 tower, deal some damage to it. It does not look like for the moment Liquid want to come and contest. Their eyes is up towards the top tier 1, and well, see how they end up working. A little bit of a missed impale there.
One of the biggest benefits to having a keeper is being able to bring people around with recall, and I don't think they would have gotten that T2 tower without the recall. But very good use of the keeper light. You know, if you first pick it, you have to use the hero to its fullest strength, and being able to use recall to take down towers is a very important aspect of it, especially when you're on the timer.
Freeze on the low ground there. If there was heroes around, that might have been a pretty easy kill, but everybody is up top for the moment, so only GH throws the amp damage and backs off. You mentioned that the amp damage isn't really that great for them in this matchup. Is it still worth throwing it on there every time? Or
oh yeah, Vision is great.
Okay.
Vision is incredibly useful. Like, sometimes you just get hit by an arrow just because, you know, you're like, oh, yeah, I have amp. The amp lasts such a long time, too. You can't smoke. It's, like, a little bit difficult to TP out. You can't gank people for that amount of time. Like, it's just... And, of course, you have the minus armor, but...
Right. Well, level 7 for Rubik as well. We saw some pretty nice plays in the last one, able to steal away some key spells. The Omni Slash earlier, of course, as well. And, you know, we saw in some of those highlights leading up to this game as well that Kuro has been able to play this hero to great effect. I'm kind of wondering now at this point in time in the game if VGJ have any recourse towards fighting. Like, it almost feels as if they can't really engage.
Because the Juggernaut is going for Battle Fury, so they've decided that they actually want to take this, like, very late, I think. It's not a, you know, we're going to try and limit the Naga's rating. We're going to let her farm our radiance, but we're going to get our items up at the same time, and we're going to be able to fight her 2-on-2, 1-on-1, or whatever in the late game.
All right.
He doesn't.
I guess I'm wondering also, like, oh, well, this is actually Moonlight Shadow. They're maybe going to be able to pick all these heroes off. ROTK is there. They do have sentry wards down, but they get the Naga sleep. Oh, God, this is looking really bad, and they're going to immediately initiate there up on the top side, able to pull back in Fenrir. No rock in this fight, trying to spin away. A good impale, but Fenrir does manage to get it off. Still no follow-up, and they're going to lose 3 heroes here. Oh, God, just another disaster for Vici J in this top lane by the Tier 1 tower.
That was not the plan. I don't think their plan was to, like, their item build suggests that they should be trying to farm up, right? Like, what are you going to do with the Perseverance?
Yeah.
In like these fights. If you want to fight early, you get Helmet Dom. It's roughly the same amount of gold as a Perseverance, but like their items it's just not possible for them to really fight at the moment. And of course, that was an excellent sleep set up by Matumba Man. And that T1 tower, that is going to stay up for like another 20 minutes at this rate.
I mean, they've taken down all of the bottom lane. Maybe the point is at some point you just like recall everybody in and try and take high ground. I don't know if it's really going to work out at all.
They need to recall people to the Nyx and get some kills with the Nyx. That's how they actually got back in the game. Like, that's how they got their first few kills. That's how they got Storm Spirit back in the realm of relevancy, is by Nyx assassin ganks. And they haven't really been able to utilize that. And ROTK actually went for the Blink instead of the Midas. Slightly surprised about that. But I guess they still do at least want one hero that is able to make plays. If everyone's farming, you're just going to get pushed and lose.
You know, it is definitely weird, though. It feels as if there's a mixture of builds going on. Maybe a couple of different ideas of how they want to go. But regardless, we're going to end up seeing the Aghanim's now up. The Slardar has his Blink Dagger. So this, to me, feels like such a terrifying time for VGJ. If they find a couple of kills with lanes pushed out, they're going to be running into some serious issues. Yep. The Radiant's going to be up soon as well. Does this change the build at all for Matumba Man as far as what he's going to go for, or is it just always the same Naga Siren stuff pretty much?
It's pretty much always the same Naga Siren build. It's, you know, Radiance, Manta, Octarine.
Well, this could be the kill that they need. Tries to leap, but
yep, keep getting kills with ROTK is what they need. More and more kills with the Nyx assassin, especially on big cores like Mirana. He's been actually having a very good game, ROTK, I would say. Like, making things happen when things were looking very, very bleak for his team.
Interestingly enough, he's been one of the players that's been playing pretty consistently, even through the break time in the CDC Master League. He's been playing a lot of in-houses, so keeping up the practice. And, well, maybe this tower is finally going to go down, but it's looking like
yeah, they got a big pick finally. And Miracle was farming just a little bit far, but it is hard for the Mirana just because, like, most of the time your jungle and everything else is occupied by this hero right here. So, like, you have to farm out in far more risky places than you would normally have to as a Mirana, just because there's no creep camps, and Naga has higher farm priority than Mirana.
I guess something else to consider as the game goes on as well is being able to find and pick off that Naga Siren with the Spike Carapace on the Radiance. It could be a nice little way to make that work for them as setting up a kill.
Yep.
Battle Fury now done as well for the Juggernaut. In your eyes, what's the next big item for him to go into in this game? Is it something that's maybe allows them to fight right now? A Basher, is that ever an option really?
Not with Battle Fury build.
Okay.
Not right now. You don't need a lockdown versus a Naga Siren, generally. Like, you can just Omni Slash if you have enough damage, just kill her while she sleeps. But it's definitely just needs more damage. Manta style is pretty standard. I don't really like SNY here. I think just Manta into Diffusal, if they're fighting a lot, is completely okay. I think Maelstrom's a little bit overkill in terms of damage. It doesn't really give you that much when you already have Battle Fury.
Well, and the nice part about this as well is you do have FY who's going to be able to consistently push out these lanes. Fenrir's there as well to provide a bit of backup. And, well, you can see that all around the map they're sort of farming in the buddy system. Make sure that things don't end up picking them off. And you can see actually also the net worth, it's brought back down towards a little bit even.
Yeah, the Juggernaut's greedy build has paid off for him going to Battle Fury. But I think this is the only way that he can keep pace.
Oh, big pick off here. Oh, the nice blink away. He does get stunned up. Still Freeze is going to dive in for this one. And, well, now trying to turn it back around. He's able to steal the Impale. Kuro can try and turn this if he wants to, but the spin is going to be able to find that kill. Matumba Man now looking for the follow-up. Can they do it? The rock has been dropped, and, well, it looks like nobody from Liquid is going to end up going down as of yet. Another jump in from Freeze, trying to bring him down as well. Miracle is going to die. Matumba Man sleep just a little bit too late, and if they decide to go in on this, everybody from VGA is still very, very healthy. A good Impale follow through, and he's already gone to the Spike Carapace. They turn it back around. They kill him off as well. Matumba Man down. They buy back on the Bat Rider. What's he going to do? Not a damn thing. And a huge fight for VGJ.
ROTK has been owning. He did miss the Blink Carapace due to the great reactions of Mind Control, but like he just destroyed them in the later half of that fight. He did give away the Earth Spike, but it ended up actually killing the Rubik there. And like he was kind of up in front, so they like kind of need to throw the AoE spells onto him, and they just all got destroyed by the Spike Carapace.
Oh, and you look at that moment. Maybe you end up backing out with the sleep, but they want to make something more happen. Another Impale stolen, which they're going to try and throw it. And nice blink away by GH. Almost got taken down by Freeze. Still a very tense moment. The Bloodstone just now finished. That would have been great to pick up right before that last fight. But
yeah, it was. It's not exactly where you want to take the fight too. Like ideally, it would have been close to the shrine, but Vici J had already like kind of claimed that area before with the smoke. So I think it was like a very, very nice smoke for them to actually like claim the shrine so that Liquid can't actually fight up that hill. And then the Naga Siren wasn't there until a little bit too late because Bat Rider had already died. And that's, I think, a fair amount of their damage and the control of the fight. Like even dropping a Napalm or two after the sleep is very, very annoying for all these heroes to deal with.
Well, I mean, we just saw two different Midases get picked up. Well, Miracle actually going to get initiated on again. He gets caught mid-leap, and he's going to drop also. So, oh my God, VGJ are just dominating this mid-game right now.
Where did FY get all this gold?
I don't know. He got his Aghanims right before that last fight.
Yeah, he had the Ags, and that actually like kind of destroyed that fight too. Like I didn't realize that he was this farmed, that he has Ags and 1,500 gold.
You've got a Midas on Warlock. You've got a Midas on ROTK Nyx Assassin. Now another jump in. This could be something to turn it back around. We'll see if they're going to be able to find that kill. It does look like Storm is going to drop. But considering how much VGJ is geared up for the late game, if you're Liquid, are you starting to be worried in spite of your Naga Siren?
You just lost like 5 heroes at your mid T1, and then you lost a T1 after that. Like it's not great for you at all. And now like their territory to farm is just increased a lot. Aggressive was able to take those bottom Ancients. Like they're putting pressure on those Ancients.
On him, jumps in, finds the kill again. Oh, Mind Control.
And you can't use the old trick before of having a Naga Sign with a gem to deal with the Nyx Assassin. It doesn't work anymore because you don't get the gem reveal on the illusion. So like they have all this ground to cover. They were actually owning a lot. They took down a couple of the T1 towers, but now they have all this territory to cover because they just lost 3 towers. Like losing that T1 tower on top has like kind of ruined their game actually. Like they can't farm that top area of the map very safely.
Yeah.
And like it's much easier to cover the areas with like sentries and wards when you have those T1s up because there's just a limited amount of places that Vici can gank you from. But now that the map has been completely open from all these towers falling and like Bloodstone charges, Freeze might get this chicken kill.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
Chicken ends up going down 1,500 on that one. And well, the tier 2 tower goes down. It's crazy to me that that's the fight up there in the top lane that ends up transitioning into so much. Like, they get repeatedly pushed back against the tier 1, and then it goes down finally.
Yep. I think it was that one kill on Miracle that just kind of destroyed them. And, like, even Fenrir was quite poor. I checked his inventory like 2 minutes ago. He had Gloves of Haste and 300 gold. Now he has Midas and then some.
Yeah. They are impressively farmed. So 12-12 right now, 23 minutes into the game. We've had a sharp change in the momentum of this one. And, well, I'm just sort of wondering now, what's the play if you're Liquid? How do you respond to this increase in aggression? Do you need to get a gem yourself to try and deal with the Nyx initiations?
I'm thinking about it, but who would carry it? Normally, your Bat Rider would carry it, but he doesn't have BKB yet. So if he carries it, he's just going to die to Nyx, still, likely, in the fight.
Okay.
So, like, Rubik's not going to carry it. Mirana still dies a lot because Nyx Assassin owns Mirana with the Starstorm a lot of the times. Slaughter Art is just, it's a measly support who often is forced to initiate. And Naga Siren is also not invincible in this game. So maybe, I think you get the gem once Bat Rider gets his his BKB, which he's actually quite close to, just 1,000 gold.
Okay. We did just see there as well the Nyx Assassin being revealed up on the high ground. Mind Control thought about going into it, but they just don't feel like they have the great way to do it.
He picked up the Midas afterwards, too, so he's actually quite farmed.
Yeah. Midas on him and the Warlock and the Battle Fury on Chug. Everybody has got the items to farm, but they're still winning at this point in the game. So pressure on the tier 2, and Liquid do not look interested. Instead, they're going to head off.
Yeah, this is going to continually get worse for Liquid because now they picked up the gem on FY after the Scepter. So, like, yeah, you can drop a lot of wards for the Nyx assassin, but they're just going to be eaten by FY.
There it is, the initiation with the Spike Carapace. They found Matumba Man, and, well, he is going to be able to actually walk out of there. Drops the sleep and going to run away
He
now.
might still die. He doesn't have enough mana to TP. Freeze is going to jump him.
Oh, no. Maybe, possibly. It's going to run out soon, and there he is. They found him. Another kill. Matumba Man goes down. Vici J looking strong.
Yep. The FY just gave him that little bit extra mana. The Keeper is a very flexible hero and just makes a lot of heroes just much better. Like, a lot of people think that Storm's very bad right now because of the root changes, but like there is a time and place for that hero, and it seems like this.
Oh, what?
One of them.
Oh, he's going to get recalled. All right, no, he's gone. That would have been pretty silly, but yeah, Miracle comes in, cleans up the kill.
I mean, Jug is in there. Jug's in farming very, very deeply in this game. He is, like, you know, he's all up in their jungle, so they can farm their jungle, and like Naga is just falling behind in terms of where she should be. And
oh
another
God. Omni Slash onto a lot of creeps, and freezes here as well, though, so they should be able. Oh, out of mana? They're not going to be able to catch up. ROTK there, blink away, and they'll be able to back out.
That was some very unlucky bounces for Aggressive. I don't actually think that he needed to Omni there, but
yeah, maybe just the right clicks could have killed. Wanted to finish it off more quickly, but
maybe with a prior Battle Fury, it would have happened for him too. I don't think he really was able to cleave the Mirana at all.
Right. Yeah, well, they're unfortunate. Also, looking at this now, Nyx Assassin almost has his Aghanim Scepter up. When does this switch back over for Liquid? I feel like
BKBs.
Okay, BKBs for them.
Yeah, they like. I think BKBs is quite strong for them because then they can actually kill the Nyx. You can just lasso the Nyx and just like, okay, I have BKB, and then he should die. And then after that, you don't have as much control because he's their main source of stun lock at the moment.
The other issue, too, is just thinking about the vision. You look down there at the mini-map, and there aren't really any wards at all on the map for Liquid. They just are completely hemmed in by this, you know, Coddle Aghanims with the gem. And I don't know, it's a very scary time to be a Liquid player. And they're going to be heading out across the map, but, I mean, VGJ knows what's up. They're all backed out to their base.
Yeah, they can perhaps, like, if they get the kill on FY2, I also think that's when things will change for them, because if they can get a gem for themselves without actually picking it up, then they can take away a lot of map control from Vici. But here they go.
Oh my God, a big smoke up. FY gonna lead the charge. They spot out Miracle in that bottom lane, and
this is really risky. It's about to hit nighttime for Vici.
Well, see if they're gonna be able to make it happen.
They see Miracle.
They've got eyes on him. Nighttime comes in. They don't have the vision. Moonlight Shadow is way jumping away. The counter initiation play could come out now, able to catch onto Freeze, but there's the follow-up. Oh, and it only connected onto one. Might still be enough regardless. A big impale comes out from that Nyx Assassin. Matumba Man just has to go for the sleep. They need to get out now as quickly as possible. TPs everybody out, and it does look like at the end of the day they only end up losing the Slardar, but they take down the Storm Spirit.
They might actually need to give the jump to the Storm, because they saw the Mirana, but they just didn't have detection for him, or he could just carry a Dust, but you know, cores are usually starved for slots at this point in the game.
Well, Warlock ulti down now. Is this a time for Liquid to go?
It's nighttime. I don't think they're going to get that many better opportunities at this point. Manta just picked up on Naga Siren, nighttime hit, and they have BKBs, so I think it's a pretty good time for them. If they can still manage to steal this gem, maybe jack this Roshan, you know, lower Freeze's Bloodstone charges. He only has 6 charges. I don't think he was doing a lot better, but looks like he's died.
Well, this is a very bold move right now by VGJ, going in during nighttime, no Warlock ulti, and now the arrow is going to come out, connects onto Aggressive. This might be what they're looking for. ROTK, though, another great stun, and able to jump onto several. Spike Carapace as well, controlling them back. They want to go forward onto Matumba Man. GH gets the stun, the lift by Kuro as well. Going to control him, and they have brought down Freeze. Storm Spirit out of it, but so is Kuro, and he buys back immediately. Going to TP in onto this one as Matumba Man has also dropped. Mind Control turns with the BKB. They get the Crush follow-up. Miracle on the high ground, trying to get into this and see if they can take him down. The Glimmer Cape going to keep Aggressive elusive alive for a little bit longer, but Mind Control is running him down. The Flame Break actually pushes him a bit further forward, trying to take him down. The Fade Bolt is going to secure it. Now GH looking for more. ROTK is online, and the Jump Crush connects. Nice spike Carapace, trying to take him down. Roro is going to be able to get it as well, and that does look like it's a kill. Yeah, VGJ are just kind of trying to escape at this point. They do get out with 2 of them at least.
They still get the Naga Siren, but Freeze is down to 4 Bloodstone charges. He's just going in very, very deep, and that was without Rock. Maybe with Rock, they could have saved him from the stun lock so he could zip out, but he is playing a little carelessly, I would say. He's, kind of just going in very, very deep, but he thinks he can make the plays without the vision, but it's just not super easy. He's,
Freeze is not afraid.
Yeah, he is not afraid. Sometimes it pays off like that. Sometimes you get destroyed in a team fight. So, it's a high risk, high reward.
On Roche? Jump in?
At least they have vision of it.
Well, FY.
That is the gem.
Okay.
Liquid have to be very happy about getting the gem right now. And Sleep has cooled down. So now Vici, it's going to be very difficult for them to contest Roche at this point without with the Sleep on their side.
Nyx has Ags. They're going to try and walk into this one, at least for the moment. Jumps onto Mind Control, BKB pops, and there is the Sleep that comes out now.
Oh, it's so early, though. They can't actually take Roche during this time.
All right, ROTK, he has the Axe Scepter. He can go for the follow-up. They do get the rock down onto 1. Miracle is going to be pulled back in, and they do find that kill. Also going to be able to connect onto Mind Control. He is going to drop as well, I believe. Well, buyback on Mirana. They're going to try and chase him down. Shrine is still off cooldown, so they aren't going to be able to take it down. And the jump, GH trying to find the kill aggressive. They do manage to pick that one up, and now turning onto ROTK, but already Roche has gone down, and Freeze is the one that picks it up. He's going to jump into every damn person, tries to take them down. They're going to get it, but it's just the Aegis. And now Liquid may be in some trouble. The chase is going to be there from VGJ, and I think that the daytime is coming up pretty soon as well. Trying to run down Miracle, is going to get the right click. There's the pull, and that's the kill. A huge one right there for VGJ.
Jesus, ROTK is destroying them. He has stunned so many heroes and have so many double impales in this game. He is just allowing Vici to, like, their other cores to just do so much damage in these fights. And I would be very hard-pressed to believe that Miracle would not get BKB in this situation, considering how long he's just been stunned in these fights.
And daytime now coming up. And it is starting to feel like it's another big push along this top lane. They don't have Aegis anymore, but who are you feeling like is in the stronger position right now?
Definitely Vici.
Yeah,
because that was when they finally had Rock off cooldown. If they had Rock the first time, they would have been okay in that fight, even with the Shrine being up. But when Rock is up, they can't stun lock the Storm Spirit, and then the Juggernaut is going to be able to go to town with the Omni Slash because they're busy controlling the Storm. And ROTK is in deep. He is sitting in, egg form.
Oh, they jump forward. Actually uses the pull onto the creep, and GH is just going to be able to walk away from that one. So a little bit off the mark. But nonetheless, that's Barracks down, Tier 3 down. VGJ just going to back out. Happy as clams.
They almost had the BKB on Storm Spirit, too. So it's just going to be a super chaotic fight. Normally when you're Naga Siren, it's like, okay, they jump someone, we're going to sleep, okay, we're going to get an arrow on someone, let's pick them off, and then the fight's 4-on-5. That's kind of, the happy-go-dandy, happy-go-lucky, like, Naga Siren initiation that you're always looking for. But these fights have just been, like, crazy. Storm Spirit just, like, jumps in 1v5, and then there's, like, Omni Slash going down, you think you're about to kill a hero, then, like, Rock drops. Like, there's just no great time for him to sleep. There's no great time for him. Like, it's one of those games where you're like, should I go in or should I not? You're not actually sure, like, what's going to go down in the fight just because it's just so crazy.
Yeah, and thinking about it too, both teams have such great catch potential that the punishment for making that wrong decision is just immense. You're going to end up losing half your team, as we saw up there in the top lane both times.
Yeah.
So,
like, if you're Bat Rider and you pop your BKB half a second too late, you're dead. And, if you're Slardar and you go in a little bit too late, like, if, like, Nyx carapaces, if Jug spins, if Jug mantas, like, if the Rock is dropped on you, you're just going to die. Like, there's so many things that could just go wrong for Liquid in each of these engagements, whereas I think, like, Vici have a lot more wiggle room because, like, Nyx is a very good reset and a very good BKB popper. The Storm Spirit can get the vision for them as well as a Keeper of the Light. They have Healing Ward if they want to reset. They have Magic Immunity on Juggernaut without having a without having to go into that BKB. They had the Aegis, so Freeze can just like go in like he did last fight and just bait out the lasso. So a lot of things have been going pretty well for them in these fights.
And you can see right here as well the smoke in now by the side of Vici. Oh, I like this play. Fenrir pushes out the lane, gets recalled back in, still has the smoke. Now they're going to run into Matumba Man. If they start this off with the Spike Carapace, all right, sleep. It's going to keep him there for the moment, try and TP out, and yeah, they don't want any part of this. We are getting the heck out of Dodge.
Yep. Level 3 sleep, no Octarine. So only a 60-second cooldown, and Mirana is trying to make some plays, but they've given the Gender Freeze. He is orchid it up, and he is dead to your right. I believe he did farm his rest of his BKB, but still, another death on Mirana. Look at her net worth relative to the other big cores.
This is just tragic right now. You'd love to be able to get to a higher position, and you know now you're going to also have those items up and online, the BKB that mitigates the damage that she would do through something like an E-Blade. Or I mean, is this maybe one of those games where you have to go for more of a right-click build Mirana, considering what you've got?
Too late for that.
All right.
Too late for that. I mean, he's going for, I see his quick buy, and it's going to be a Mjolnir, but he doesn't have the attack speed to really complement that. And I don't really think he's going to be able to farm up that quickly because of the deaths.
That level 25, though. There you go.
That level 25, though.
That's true. Speed. There you go.
If it gets there. I mean, he doesn't have buyback, and Aggressive is at the tower.
Oh, God. Yeah, Aggressive is just going to hit away. Healing Ward down. ROTK set up. This is like the lurker defense at this point, except they're the ones sieging down your tower. God, what a frustrating game to play against. That combined with the FY Illuminate spam once it's daytime too. Jeez.
Yep.
What's the play here for Liquid then? Like, do you have to initiate onto Warlock with Batrider, or is there anything else they can really be looking for?
I think you got to kill the Nyx.
Okay.
Nyx, if you can catch him unburrowed and lasso with the BKB, that is definitely who you go for. But aside from that, it's going to be difficult if they can like isolate people during sleep. Like if Stormspear plus BKB zips in, you can probably sleep and kill him with net.
Well, here is the play for Liquid. They think that they want to move out along the mid. Scotty was just purchased now by Juggernaut. And we do also have that BKB up on, I believe, Mirana as well as Batrider. So, ROTK breaks the smoke, but they don't find him. Just a nice blink away.
I rarely see ROTK play this amazingly well, where he like doesn't die that often. He has a pretty good laning phase, and he sets his team up in a situation where he's really the only one that could make big plays for them in, you know, that 5 to 25 minute phase of the game where they were struggling so mightily.
All right, mind control.
Going back in.
Looking for it. They're going to be able to catch it. BKB has already been Papa. Look at the rock onto everyday person. They're going to try and take them down. GH looking for the stun, but Matumba Man is just going to drop. They take down GH as well. Now looking for more. They're going to go after Kuro. He is going to fall down as well. Liquid just running for the hills. Nice blink away there by Miracle, but well, he's still going to get ran down. Aggressive is on his tail, and they're going to jump in with the rest of them. ROTK. He's going to have another blink in a little while, as will Miracle. 2 seconds. Oh, there's the lift up, though, and they've got him. They impale the right clicks. 4 down for Liquid.
Yep, they got crushed so badly that fight trying to jump the Juggernaut. He got Lotused, and they dropped the rock on him, and he didn't even have to pop like his defensive cooldowns immediately afterwards. He was at like half HP, and at that point, he just Omni Slash, killed the Nagasara, no sleep to counter, and this is pretty much game over right now. They lost so many fights in the early game, or in the mid game rather, and ROTK has had a huge hand in Vici's potential victory.
Well, he's just going to throw out those long-range impales now. Matumba Man going to walk in as well, seeing if they can do anything at all against this VGJ assault. It's not even daytime, and they're still taking so much mind control. Going to pull back in. ROTK, he is burrowed. He has so much regen right now, so I'm not sure if it's going to end up working, but they are bringing him low. They finally take him down, and, well, he doesn't really have the ability to buy back in and jump into this fight, but GH, BKB as well. They're going to be able to get the catch onto Freeze. Net holding him? No. They can't control him, and the melee backs is already down. Trying to run out and away. Nice blinding light. Freeze is low on mana. Can they actually make something of this?
He needs Chakra badly.
Well,
he Chakra creep. What?
Oh, God. FY. They still managed to take down GH, though. So Arrow connects. Okay, maybe this is going to end up working out for Liquid. Somehow they take down the Storm Spirit. A collection of misplays and misadventures. FY is going to go down as well. VGJ, what are you? Okay, that's fine.
ROTK got a little bit overconfident there, thinking that he was invincible, but he got dragged all the way back to the T4s. And you have to respect Telekinesis. It's not even level 25 Rubik right now. They did end up getting the Rax, but they lost a lot from that.
The plus side is they did manage to get both the melee and range barracks in mid and top throughout these couple of engagements, but that was a pretty dramatic throw. For Liquid at this point, is there a point where they can sort of swing back the momentum, an item that they would be looking for that allows them to get back into this game?
I mean, there's no like one item that's gonna be like, oh man, they need to wait for this.
Right.
Even talents, I don't really think like any level 25s are really gonna be that big of a game changer for them. So you're just looking for good fights, looking to kill the next assassin when he kind of just parks himself in egg mode.
That needs to happen over and over again is what you're saying. We need more
I would say
chakras
like
on creeps.
one, maybe 2 more times is about the realm that Liquid has like has a decent shot, I would say. But right now the net worth is still heavily advantageous for Vici, and they do have a 2 racks advantage. I think if they get the next Roche, it's pretty much game. And maybe with this Arcane Rune on Naga Siren, I mean, Arcane Rune doesn't do that much for her because it's almost done. But if they can contest Roche with a song, then perhaps they could win.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing that you could look at here is that fight happened when it was nighttime, so they didn't get all the regen from FY as well.
And the vision.
Right.
They need the, I think they might need to take that Shrine out before. I'm not actually sure what Vici's play is right now. Like, you want to take Roche, but if you take Roche and you don't take it on Shrine, you might be boned.
They're chasing after this Naga Siren illusion, but that is not the real one.
Not the real one.
And Liquid is here. Go do it again, guys. I promise. They're the real ones. Tumba Man says. Fenrir, Glimmercape, they're in a position right now. GH could look for a big crush, and oh, the Illuminate's going to end up hitting them, so can't get the blink.
Yeah, it would have been pretty good to fight without StarSeries BKB right there. But yeah, as you mentioned, it is still daytime. They did have him as a reward on top of the ground, and Vici were actually well fortified as soon as ROTK popped egg.
Oh, DD up now. That's going to be there for freeze. Able to sidestep the arrow. FY has a blink dagger, so dodges away from it as well. And
they can't just walk in a Roche. We kind of saw what happened last time when they tried to contest. So, like, do they want to wrap around and take a fight at the Shrine? Do they want to try and push out the lanes a little bit more? I don't really think their lineup is that great when they split up. Yeah. They could, like, handing over their gems just makes life increasingly difficult for OTK at this point. So they, yep.
I mean, looking at this as well, you do have this tremendous net worth advantage where it feels like any fight that's just not completely awful for VGJ, they're going to end up coming out ahead just by virtue of that net worth advantage. Like Shiva's on Storm, you've got the MKB finished on Jug, but it's showing a lot of patience and what's the word, tenacity, I guess, to make sure that they're taking the fight that's perfect for them.
They still have to play with some sort of finesse. They can't just brute force it with their items at this point.
Okay.
It's not just, oh yeah, BKB, just kill him. It's not. It's not that out of the question yet.
I guess that you do still have 9 Bloodstone charges on Storm as well. Like, you'd love to have more of that. And
if he had like 25, 26, where he can just like go in, kill some people, suicide, and they get recalled back, yeah, they'd be in a much better position. But he doesn't have buyback, nor does he have that many Bloodstone charges. So this next fight could be a little bit risky for them. And daytime is running out. It is just 15 seconds until night.
Now they could have gone there. They decide to jump instead up here on the high ground. They point in the Warlock. He's still so tanky. Is he going to be able to get that ulti off? He does manage to hit it. That's a big one. Now the steal, though. Rubik able to turn it back against him. He doesn't have the Fatal Bonds, though, and VGJ still fairly survivable in this one. They've already lost the Bat Rider on Liquid.
Yeah, he is very fat. I think even the little bit of extra armor from the Trinkle Boots helped him out a lot right there, which you don't see terribly often on a Warlock, but sometimes it can be a game changer. And that was just at the tail end of daytime. He also got a little bit of heal from the Keeper just so he could survive close to the end. And now Roshan could potentially be free unless they get vision inside the pit, but looks like Nyx Assassin is just going to tank the arrow so they don't have vision. And they're waiting for the potential sleep.
Oh my God. Kuro just evaporated.
Yep. And They're going to be safe and take down the Shrine before taking down the 10% HP Roshan. So who's actually going to... I think Freeze could just take... Yeah, Freeze should definitely take the Aegis.
Yeah, they're going to run it on him. And well, from bad to worse right now for Team Liquid. They're going to need a miracle to pull out of this one. Well, they got him, but see if it ends up working out. Do you like that? Was that titillate you?
That was a pity laugh.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I need what I can get at this point. Well, 24 to 30, 45 minutes in. Is this the point where they can kind of go for that brute force mechanic that you're talking about? Just run at them?
I mean, if they really wanted to. They don't have Rock up. Okay. So that's probably the only thing that they could wait for, but I think it's good enough right now. It's good enough. Jug is 6 slotted.
Mirana doing the cutting of the creep waves as well along the bottom lane, so they won't have one of those.
Yeah, but their other 2 lanes are pushed in, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's a rough life.
It is.
Buyback status as well. You got a couple of them at least, but gonna need to get back into this. And Mirana is now here as well. They're gonna pull in one, trying to take him down. And well, Arrow is not going to quite be on the mark either. GH, and they are able to find that 1 kill. So Aggressive is gone. He did not have the Aegis. Freeze now turning on Matumba Man. BKB is already down. This is a little bit sketchy for Vici J, looking to try and take down Fenrir. They're going to be able to push him back and find that kill as well. GH turns on to Freeze. Storm Spirit in some trouble. Arrow as well is going to connect, and that's the Aegis.
Oh, man. This is getting crazy.
All right, a Storm. Oh, that was a really good play by Freeze. Orchid to stop the stun, and then he gets out.
That was really well played. And that's when you would love to have Rock, so your Juggernaut can actually do something in the team fight. So, you know, that's kind of the one thing that they could possibly be waiting for. It looks like they will want to wait for that before the next one. But now they're going to be an Aegis down, and I have no idea how FY has managed to only die 2 times in this entire game. But he currently possesses 2 gems.
Yeah, and looking at this now, it feels like you have so much net worth. You should be able to take these fights for VGJ, but Liquid are staying in it. They're outplaying them and holding on to that tier 3 tower. They do have 2 lanes down, but they've got a Naga Siren, so that sort of mitigates some of those problems.
They just weren't doing it that safely. What they could have done with the Siege is you Lotus Orb the Juggernaut, he right-clicks, and then once the Lotus Orb is about to run off, you spin, and then you right-click it. And then when both those are up, you just get out and then repeat with the cooldowns. It's like 15, 18 seconds. But, you know, they kind of there was no reason for them to force it, too. It's not like anyone was dead on the side of Liquid, so it's not like you have this small window where, like, okay, we have to beat on this tower to try and make it 5v4. It's, you know, they're just being a little bit careless when they think they're further ahead than they actually are.
Well, I mean, you look at this now, and you're getting your tower sieged. All the other lanes are fairly well pushed out. It does actually look like bottom and top are now starting to pressure in a little bit, so Liquid need to be careful. And that would have been a nice timing for them, but not willing to go that extra little step towards high ground.
Aggressive is up.
You mentioned the Juggernaut being pretty close to 6 slotted as well. Is this a point where this hero can maybe fall off a little bit with a lack of extra item slots, or do you think he's still just going to be a complete and total monster?
He can fall off a little bit, but same with Naga Siren. Naga Siren is almost 6 slotted too with the ulti orb into Scotty, so it's not that big a deal. He went Aether Lens on Keeper.
Extra range on the blinding light?
Extra range is nice. It's just you usually don't see it 48 minutes into the game.
No.
Usually you'll pick it up way earlier. Why Aether Lens of all items? Yeah, I suppose just for cast range.
Blinding Light's been pretty good in these fights, and being able to not pressure himself into it. I guess also the Lotus Orb added extra range is pretty nice.
But he hasn't been dying. So like he could probably afford to go up a little bit closer and maybe get a bigger item. I don't know. FY does some
I'm not going to
things.
question him at this point, probably.
Yeah, I'm more so curious as to why is maybe the extra range on Mana Leak is just really that important. He did get the Lotus Orb last fight too, even on the Lasso Juggernaut who got 4-staffed. So like, it wasn't a range issue last game.
Yeah, that's true.
Or last fight rather. No, it's not something that you see very often.
To pick his brain. He wasn't responding to all the gods talking to him about how pretty he was, but maybe he'll answer our questions. I don't know. But let's see. 50 minutes into this one, Shrine's starting to go down, and still Liquid have not been able to take that high ground to secure their own shrines, with Roshan still a ways away. Is this game just sort of in a bit of an awkward spot, or do either teams have really clear objectives of what they want to try and accomplish now?
It's a little awkward because Vici, they had 20,000 gold lead. Now it's only 10,000. They lost to Aegis, and they can't wait for Aegis cheese. But as you mentioned, Miracle is actually transition.
Oh my God.
Just as I say that.
That's a huge kill, dropping every damn thing to secure it as well. He does have buyback.
He needs to buy back. I mean, they're going to get mega if he doesn't buy back like very soon. Next 5 seconds, I would say.
All right, well, they do have the tier 3 still alive, but Liquid not wanting to commit that buyback. It feels like they can go, at least for the moment, without it.
They need it because they need to set up with a sleep.
All right, well, Sleep maybe going to come out. No, they're holding on to it for the moment, and VGJ are just going to be able to walk away from this one. No great problem.
I'm not exactly sure what the hesitation with the buyback was because they just lost the T3 for free when they potentially could have done something with it. Maybe he like wanted to wait out the rock or something like that, but I mean, Vici aren't going to wait.
No. Well, VGJ picking up a very, very important kill there, and it's also just a little bit unfortunate, the lanes not being able to be pushed out with the Naga Siren, not what you want at all. A good crush is going to connect there, and well, pulling him back in. Omni Slash is out as well, though, turn back against him, and GH is going to go down, as is ROTK. GH buys back. They're controlling at least for the moment. Matumba, man, he's so low, 4-staffed away. He does manage to get that sleep off. All right, really impressive display now. They have the Shrine, healing him back up, trying to time the crush. They are not going to quite get it. A good blinding light from the Coddle is able to push him away, but they still are going to be able to run down and kill off aggressive. Crush in the woods. Warlock is in trouble. Fenrir, see you later, man. He's gone as well. And, well,
FY. Yeah, that was...
Ben.
Nyx got lassoed before he was able to do anything.
It feels like this game has just been so much of a back and forth, and it doesn't really feel like either team is taking like that commanding step, even though VGJ is so far ahead.
Rock is still really important in the fight. Like, they used Rock to drop it on the Mirana, but then they didn't actually have it to save the Nyx assassin. Nyx assassin is a huge deal, especially when BKBs are very, very low at this point. Now Mirana is level 25 and has the Mjolnir and the Chrysalis. So you mentioned the right click being important, and now it's finally come to fruition where Miracle can actually right click people. And I mean, they still haven't done any significant structural damage, but they might be able to force out a Juggernaut buyback, which is the first step to conquering Vici's high ground.
This would be an unbelievable comeback at this point. I think that it was something like 25,000 net worth lead or something at some point.
Okay, he did get elite talent.
Oh
so
my God.
Still 30 seconds without Juggernaut.
They are going to end up losing these barracks. I mean, backdoor protection is off. They're taking down the melee, going to transition over now to the ranged, and all of the tier 2s are down. They aren't going to stop, it doesn't look like. Oh, okay, never mind.
It's... Like, remember back when, like, whenever you used to push against Storm in the high ground, and it's like, oh god, he's like so close to Fountain. Like, you have to kill his first life, and then he'd Bloodstone, and then he'd buy back, and he'd have 3 lives. Now with the Shrine, he's like still incredibly good at high ground defense, and I think that's something that they need to respect. And you know, if Vici had paid them the same respect, maybe they wouldn't have been able to. They wouldn't be in this position right now. But it's not a great position. They're only 1 racks up right now, and Juggernaut has had just monstrous amounts of gold for quite some time now.
Yeah. And looking at this too, Miracle, I mean, he doesn't have buyback right now, so he's just going to go for the full data list, and will be handed off to him here in just a second. A complete and total monster in these team fights. You do have Bloodthorn on Storm, but you know, there's a lot of answers for that at this point on Team Liquid. You got Manta Styles, you got BKBs, 4 staffs from the rest of your teammates to help you out.
Yeah, he needs more items, like a Scythe right now, more Bloodstone charges, BOTs even. I guess he doesn't need BOTs, they have perma recall, but things are looking a bit risky.
Aggressive and Matumba, man, just going to sort of say hi to each other as they head off the opposite direction. That arrow, it looked like it went through Freeze because he had the invulnerability with the song going on or something. But in any case, nothing really lost there for either team except for a bit of a song cooldown, but it's really low at this point anyways.
There's also no Butterfly on Juggernaut, so he's been like dying at a couple of these fights because he doesn't have any evasion.
We do have that second Lotus Orb as well. Could be a huge moment, that sort of Omni Slash being turned back against the Juggernaut as well. Obviously,
yep, that could be big. One thing that Vici's actually missing that I didn't think about earlier is a Solar Crest. If they had a Solar Crest for the Jug for the high ground, I also don't think he would have died. Like, I think it's very important that you kind of pressure the enemy to think about getting MKBs. And on top of that, like, he's already 6-slotted, so he's not really getting that much stronger unless he gets outside assistance through Vlad's, Mjolnir charges on him, Helm of Dom creeps, Solar Crest, etc. Like, these are only ways to make him a little bit stronger aside from Moonshard on himself.
This is a really big moment right now, and I'm sure just so frustrating for Vici J. Now that they have that mid lane pushed out, the super creeps are going to make it harder for them to be able to keep all of the lanes pushed simultaneously. And now with Roche up,
they're going to try and sneak it, perhaps. Or they're just waiting inside the pit.
Oh my god, this is really scary. Storm already has that off, and the Shiva's guard there, looking for the follow-up. They connect, arrow goes out. It's just a little bit of a zoning one, but he's already down. A huge rock comes down. Is there enough follow-up, though? It doesn't look like it's going to be there. Everybody is back out and away. A lot of damage being done onto Miracle. He does need to get out of there before he ends up falling. But they've already lost the Storm and the Jug, and Storm doesn't have buyback. There's 50 seconds without him. They buy back on the Jug. ROTK is gone, though. They're still chasing. I don't know if this is necessarily the right play. They lose Kuro, but that is 3 cores down for Vici J.
Storm just kind of got lassoed and died. He didn't really check the surrounding area for vision, so of course they're going to jump him if they can find that opportune moment, which Mind Control certainly did. And BOT2's up on Naga Siren, and it gets canceled, I suppose. But yeah, Storm Spirit is dead. Nick Sesson is dead, and Roche is just not easy at all. And now Aggressive's buyback is down. Storm Spirit doesn't even have money for buyback. And Vici are just 1 or 2 deaths away from losing this game.
This is, we talked a little bit about how the late game performance is going to be by a little bit of a relative newcomer. Obviously, you can't throw everything onto one individual play. This has been a collective effort that's allowed Liquid to get back into this game from both sides. But this moment, it's now been opened up, and Vici J going to be hard-pressed to be able to hold on here. Buyback
dead.
TK. They don't have an answer.
Yeah.
All right, Roshan, Aegis picked up by GH. They decide to jump in. BKB used.
Ooh, just a little bit slow. If they killed Nagasai right there, maybe, but I mean, she's still sitting at 8,300 gold right now, so might as well buy a refresher, Moonshard, or whatever it may be that you deem worthy for your 7th slot.
What a turnaround and what a storyline. Liquid going down against this team early on and being able to pull themselves back into it. It would be a pretty big story if they're able to finish it off. What is it that Liquid sort of need to accomplish over the next couple of minutes to secure this game? Is it just take another great team fight for them, or is there, like, what do they need to do here?
Pick off Storm Spirit or Juggernaut with the lasso. As we've seen, they just really don't have a great answer to that. Warlock is... What happened to his Midas? What? Wait,
He sell his Midas?
I guess. But why would you sell your Midas? For what item? You're not going to sell it for a Glimmer. I'm pretty sure he had a Glimmer a long time ago. But I was like, okay, where's his Refresher Orb? But he actually, I have no idea what happened to his Midas.
Well, when that switches back over to Warlock on the observer screen, we'll see that he does not have a Midas anymore, but is almost to a Refresher.
Yeah, but still, like, there's 2 reasons why you would sell your Midas. One, you're about to lose, and you need a bigger item, like a Refresher Orb, let's say. Like, you have 4,000 gold, okay, sell my Midas, get a Refresher Orb when they... Or you have 7 slots, six slots, and you just need to replace it because you're just overflowing with gold. And he's not in either of those situations. I guess third situation was you're really angry with your team, but I would expect that that's not the case.
What level is he right now also?
Yeah, he is not 25.
That's the other big thing.
His golems being invulnerable to magic permanently is also godly.
Yeah. Yeah, that really, really hurts. And again, this bottom lane is pushing in, so it's something that Liquid are going to need to be cognizant of. But it looks like they're setting up for another one of these initiations. ROTK, if they get eyes on him, would just evaporate so quickly. Moonlight Shadow is there. Do they spot him out with the gem? Looking like they're, no, not going to be able to get him. And they actually end up lassoing an illusion. All right, this is not the fight that Liquid want to do. It's time to run away, time to get out. But are they going to be able to make it happen? The sleep? Okay, now need to try and make the escape happen. Everybody backing out together, but Freeze still on the chase. It looks like they're going to go for it. FY jumps in. The Golem doesn't hit onto anything, but Mind Control might end up going down regardless. So they are going to be able to bring down one, and GH in the midst of all of it is just going to try and at least secure the rest of his team's retreat. But that's Gem on the ground as well, as GH is going to fall here. So another very odd decision by and large, and it ends up not working out for them completely. Obviously, sometimes you just lasso an illusion.
Sometimes you just lasso an illusion. That's correct. And they can't rely on sleep run away because of the BKBs. Like BKB Storm with Shivas, he'll just zip in, stop TPs, and kind of destroy people if that's the sort of initiation that you're looking for.
I believe that Warlock just bought his refresher as well, if I'm not mistaken, but hasn't used it. I was wondering if he was going to go for like one of the refresher and then leave it in base plays and then make them think that you don't have a rock or something, but it's not going to go for it.
I think it's one of the situations where he just used it immediately.
Okay.
Because it's like I think it's probably like 1 to 50 seconds when he purchased it, and it's 195-second cooldown. So like if you fight any time in the next 150 seconds, you're not going to have a rock unless you use your refresher, which you might have well just used in the first place. I don't know. And then there's like a 45-second window where you would have had double rock where you wouldn't have had it to begin with. But regardless, I'm still not sure where his Midas went. That's very, very strange.
So 32 to 35, we're 60 minutes into this game, and it's feeling like VCJ want to try and completely close it out here. But it's not really been the easiest for them by any stretch of the imagination. And it feels like they've almost missed a window at this point.
Oh, they missed it a long time ago.
Yeah.
They saw it just fly by them. Juggernaut still doesn't have Moonshard, so he was 7 slotted a while ago, but he hasn't really been able to make any progress. And the net worth chart is just kind of very deceptive at this point because there's just too much gold.
Are they just going to go with double Golem and say, like, YOLO, or what's happening here? I guess they're just looking for a pick-off at this point. See if they can find somebody.
Well, they could play it safe, and playing it safe means a couple things. Waiting for buybacks, most importantly. Juggernaut is 1 minute away from it. Next Session is 2, so you might as well wait for that over anything else at the moment. And that will coincide with the rock being perhaps in that particular spot. But Fenrir, yeah, okay, look, he does have the Devil Chaotic offering right now, but no buybacks on those important cores.
All right, there's the first one, drop down, waiting for the second. They refresh, and okay, I guess.
He got arrowed.
Yeah. So
Also, Juggernaut's Healing Ward was stolen by Rubik, and that's a very important spell this game just because of how much potential that thing can heal.
well, a very awkward another engagement there, and the arrow's going to go out. Not going to connect onto anybody, but they do still have another chaotic offering for this fight. I mean, it feels weird to try and go in for that again. Freeze diving real deep for this one. BKB popped the leap away. They still managed to pull him back in. The rock could come out Fenrir from afar. It doesn't look like it's there as of yet. The crutch, the follow-up, but Liquid, they're backing out. Mind Control has already popped BKB. The Omni Slash back between two, but now it's over onto the Illusions, and that just takes it off. A huge fight comes out, and Nyx is gone for 100 seconds. They have buyback on GH, but they are still running down and losing Kuro, and GH forced to buy back now. Matumba Man still alive.
Miracle in the back line.
I think that this is going to end up not working out for VGJ. He's got him up on the high ground. The arrow comes out as well. Aggressive gone for 2 minutes. He does still have buyback. They have it on 3 of their heroes, but Fenrir also in trouble, leaping forward. And just another one of those engagements where you drop the rock, but it's not enough.
They're really lacking damage right now. And Miracle, I think, is actually the one doing the most damage in these fights right now because of the leap talent. And I think like the leap talent is strictly better than the multi-shot arrows. 100% attack speed. Even if it were just for yourself, I still think it'd probably be better, but because it's an aura, it's just ridiculously good. Like even a hero like Slardar, who you don't really talk about his damage in the late game when he's a support, but he hits really hard right now with 100% attack speed. He has AC, so people are sitting at like what minus like 30ish armor.
What talent did he go for, by the way? He went for the
10% bash chance.
So he also has an extra bash chance as well on top
Like
of
he
that.
can almost like permanently stun like the Juggernaut or the Storm Spirit perhaps at this point, especially with if he's not getting blinding lighted by FY right now. So things are still in a very precarious spot. 2 buybacks were used last fight, 1 on the Juggernaut and 1 on the Slardar. One is more important than the other over here, and Roshan has almost respawned for the 4th. Is it 4th or 5th?
I haven't been keeping track of that one. It's been a fair few.
Yeah, it's been a fair few, and Naga Siren teams always have the advantage when it comes to Roshan.
And the other thing now, you've got that added mirror image, additional one for Naga Siren as well. So there's so many illusions, real ridiculously hard to deal with. They are going to be able to jump immediately, and well, they take down Miracle. That's a hell of a way to start the fight. Now Freeze looking for more, is going to be able to spot out Kuroki, the sleep to come out, and that should be enough to ensure everybody gets out. Mind Control going to BKB TP. Kuroki, Glimmer Caped. Ooh, baby, that was close.
That was close indeed. ROTK getting the jump on Miracle, and like any of these cores can just die in a 3-4 second stun lock, which is quite possible on both sides of the field. They have to get this Mirana buyback, I think, if they want to be able to win this game
Certainly
in the next few minutes.
On a knife's edge right now, and it's not felt like Liquid have been able to take over complete and total control with this game, but they're certainly on the upswing and definitely pulling ahead as this game goes on longer. Matomaman's in this awkward situation now, though, with 8,000 gold in his inventory. Like, is there anything else you can really swap out at this point, or do you just start, like, taking the radiance off?
Refresher and Necro, I would say, of course, buying tomes, gems, etc. 8,600 gold is quite a lot. Like, I was thinking like he could potentially go for like attack speed basher build with Butterfly, but he doesn't actually need it because they have the Slaughter for the additional lockdown. So he's going to go full tank with 4,700 HP, 4,700 on a Naga Siren.
Yeah, that's just disgusting. ROTK also went for the plus 40 movement speed, so he's running around at 520 movement speed right now. Kind of a unique little look to this as well. Ooh, reveals himself with the blink, and now they got ROTK. Do they want to go for it, though? Doesn't look like it. Everybody's backing out. That would have been pretty bold.
Pretty bold indeed. Mind Control kind of still left out over there, but now that Song of the Siren has been used, and Mirana is still in the grave, looks like aggressive, will try and finish out Roshan, but, I mean, who is going to take, I guess he's going to take his Aegis, but he's going to be, like, weaker than he was, like, 20 minutes ago, because he's going to have to drop an item for that. And they're having a very tough time dealing with these illusions right now that are constantly being thrown in by Matomaman, and this could end real poorly for Vici.
Yeah, they go in there, they kill off the healing ward as well, and there's the arrow onto ROTK. They know where he is at. GH, everybody grouped up along this top side. And yeah, it looks like VGJ realized they just can't go in and do that.
Yeah, Sleep is up right now, and Mirana is up. So they did not force the Mirana buyback, and this is, I don't even know how they approach this fight. I mean, double rock, of course. But they actually, I think, need Fatal Bonds to hit on multiple heroes to be able to win the fight because the damage is that important right now.
All right, the smoke forward. They found Mind Control. BKB there in time. Arrow going to connect onto Fenrir. They might decide to go in on this a bit further. GH has already popped his BKB. A little bit of an awkward exchange. Miracle is going to back out as well, and they're going to jump forward on Freeze. Kuro gets the lift. Stun out there as well. They pull him back in. The damage is coming in. Is it going to be enough to find the kill? They do have it, but there is the Rock Fatal Bonds to follow as well. Everybody is taking a ton of damage from these columns. Kuro's going to go down, and it looks like GH will as well. So 2 down, and that's no GH for 2 minutes. Have VGJ maybe done it? It's tenuous.
Nothing is for certain.
Fenrir still has Refresher as well, and he's getting chased down by these illusions here.
He dropped that super late, too. Like, Storm Spear just got chain stun. Normally it would have been dropped a little bit earlier so that they could
Oh my
save
god,
him.
FY. Matumbaman is here. He's going down. And Mind Control also there to break it up. Fenrir drops the rock just to try and escape. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. Aggressive is here as well. They're going to try and bring him down. It does look like we're able to get out and away. He does not manage to go down. Matumbaman in a lot of trouble, though. Can they kill him off? Fenrir dies to Miracle over there in the jungle. It looks like ROTK manages to get the stun, the follow-up. Impale connects as well. They're on top of him. The right clicks. They have enough damage. They take him down, but he does still have buyback.
Roshan is almost dead. Miracle and Mind Control trying to take it down. Miracle will snag the cheese.
Oh, the most sneaky of plays. They take it, and ROTK can't believe it. Aggressive, mad as hell, but they can't run him down. He eats the cheese and runs away. What a player. FY in the meantime going to pull him back in, and they have caught Mind Control. This fight has been going on for half the game, it seems like, and they forced the buyback on the Naga as well.
Oh my goodness. What is happening?
Throws on throws. Ooh, baby.
So that's a Naga Siren buyback. Naga Siren, I don't actually know if her buybacks are more important than Mirana's. I think, yeah, I guess it is more important. Mirana,
Well, she has Aegis,
she
too.
does have the Aegis. ROTK looking for something sneaky here, and item slots are a big consideration at this point, especially when you're playing against a hero like Nyx. Like, who is going to carry the gem at this point? Everyone just has way too many items.
I guess maybe F. Oh, for Liquid, man.
I mean, either team, really.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, VGJ, it's been a hard road for them to try and take down these towers, and setting up to try and take down this final one. These illusions are just impossible to deal with at this point. And even if they get mega creeps, it doesn't feel like the game's... Oh, initiation! They get the follow-up. The catch is there. They jump into the sleep, though. They
popped a BKB, however.
Right.
GH.
Now damage out. It looks like VGJ are just going to back out again, and they've been able to pull him back in. That's Nyx Assassin, controlled and soon to be killed, I do believe. Miracle finds him.
That is super important. Liquid are just, they definitely want to chase this down because Nyx Assassin is down, but with the buyback coming out, recall in.
Now BKB is already running low. Freeze is not going to have it for the full fight, but they've already taken down Miracle. That's the Aegis. Can they convert a second time? The initiation comes in. They get the Sheepstick. Omni Slash as well. They're going to be able to do it. The damage is enough. They take him down. A killing spree there. It's gone. And all right, immediate buyback from Miracle. The fight continues. Round 2. ROTK stunned? All right, he's good.
They need Rock. Rock is almost cooled down, adds his refresher out. I think if they kill Mirana or Naga Siren right here, it should be over. But Matoma Man still has sleep. He can reset if they so desire.
Feels like the game is just sort of building to this crescendo here. All on the line for Liquid. If they can hold off here, maybe run down one of those lanes, find themselves some skills. You can see in the mid, it's already pushing out so heavily.
Okay, double Rock is up in 10 seconds. I think this is the time. This is the wave.
Jump in, pull him back in. That's the catch. Freeze going to try the follow-up, and they are going to be able to bring him down very low. The Rock connects onto everybody. Liquid dropping low. They are going to be able to bring him down. VGJ, they buy back on aggressive, trying to get into this fight. Matamba Man's super low, though, and it looks like they're going to try and continue the chase. Now they're back again. The golems, though, they're just too hard to kill off right now. The immunity on them.
Yeah, Mirana wants to be able to kill them, but she dies right now.
All right, ensnare. Mirana force-staffed away. They're on top of him. The second rocket's down. They're all going to drop Liquid. They're falling to the ground, and the barracks soon to follow as well. No buyback on Mirana. No buyback on GH. And Curl can only look on in dismay as Matamba Man is going to fall again. I do believe the chase, the right clicks, the damage isn't enough. He's going to be force-staffed inside, and well, go hit the buildings, guys. It's time to do this. The Fatal Bonds were turned back around against them, though. If they can somehow manage to do this, Curl's doing his bestest. Now they jump inside the base, continuing the chase, but they're starting to drop now. They managed to kill off Freeze. He's dead, and now pulling back in the Nyx Assassin as well. He's going to drop, so ROTK goes down. He's gone for 2 minutes. And Matamba Man is still alive, actually. So
Megas does not mean GG in this game. I mean, it's 73 minutes in. There's a lot of heroes that can deal with the Megas at this point. So buybacks are going to be the main consideration. And looking at the buyback status, that is a whopping no for 8 of the 10 heroes here. And it seems like Vici have shifted their priorities to killing Mirana very early on in the fight, which I think is definitely the right idea. Because physical damage, I think, is going to be king at this point because of Amplify amongst the leap attack speed. And they, like Dyer's, I can just wait out a little bit for the double rock again. It's just 80 seconds for them.
All right, well, you can see right here as well, you know, the movement across the map, and it does feel like Fenrir is now caught up to that point where he has the refresher, he's got the Aghanim Scepter, he ends up going back for the Vlads, just whatever they can get, small items that they can pick up to just ensure it. Like with Megas, how does this change the complexion of the game? What do you need to do now for Liquid?
Keep the lanes pushed out. That's always the #1 thing when you have Megas. Keep the lanes pushed out, else very bad things can happen. Like Megas can just kill your throne, which is not unheard of at all. Or like multiple heroes can BOT in and just like BKB Zerg down the throne. Like if your lanes are pushed out, then you actually have like a very like large safety window because you can glyph, you have the backdoor region, you have more vision around your base. So, you know, generally you want to keep the lanes pushed out at least, I would say, to the river at the bare minimum if you can. And, of course, not die while you're split pushing out the lanes. So, you know, Nuggets are very good at kind of this situation when you're talking about 75 minutes in the game because you can push out the lanes rather recklessly with your illusions. And, like, who cares about the illusions giving golden experience at this point in the game? Like, that
Everybody's
means
there.
nothing.
Now,
Yeah, everyone's there.
everybody's at the level 25 pretty much across the board.
Yep.
We saw the net worth and experience graph as well there briefly, and it just showed this roller coaster ride of a game we've been watching. The Lincoln Sphere picked up for the Coddle. Not often you see them get to this level of farm, particularly in this meta. It feels like this is sort of an aberration in terms of the game and what type of Dota we've been seeing.
Yep. I think they actually need an Octarine on the Warlock for the cooldown reduction. He actually has a Blink Dagger. I think the Blink Dagger has been extremely necessary. I'm very surprised he didn't pick it up earlier because he needed to be able to blink in and drop the rock just so that he can save his teammates without really putting himself in a very vulnerable position right now. And Vici, it's daytime. Like, they could wait for the ideal moment, right? It's like double rock plus daytime plus Aegis Cheese. That's like the ideal push for them that, you know, if you had unlimited time, that's what you would be waiting for. And at this point, I don't really know if unlimited time is going to be on their side because look how far mid and top lane are pushed out. Matama Man is well past the river, as is mid lane. Bottom lane surely going to be a trap, but they will smoke. And 5 seconds until nighttime, so they won't be able to see uphill very well at this point. ROTK going to venture up there, but Matama Man is pretty much at the fountain, so.
Oh my God! Well, I mean, ROTK is going to be pretty much at the fountain in a second, and honestly, it's one of those moments where they're setting up in the top lane as well to try and find this kill. They don't have the mobility that the Coddle gives them, but with the bots in level 2, I mean, they're standing on the high ground. You can just see how careful Matumbaman is being. He knows that they could be there, and
yeah. Let's see if Miracle
oh, they could get a
in.
sleep cancel.
Yeah.
If they show.
Yep, they could get a sleep cancel right here.
This might be the play. The tier 3s are going down. We'll see if he decides to go for it. It looks like Matumbaman is just staying in the base, but they take down the range barracks just like that.
They could easily TP back with a couple heroes and get recalled back. But they are scared of ganking. Miracle is going to go in for that melee Rax. And Vici J are taking down Shrines.
They're going for this. It looks like we could have potentially a base race on our hands. They dropped the golems just to try and secure the win here. These are not going to be affected by the sleeps. Meanwhile, in the base, they're trying to take it down. It looks like they're able to hit onto it. Sleep is going to contain them for the moment, but they're going for the tier 4s. Liquid want it now. Are they going to be able to push quick enough? We need to get up to the Dire side to see if they're taking it. It looks like there's a fight that's brewing in the Dire side of the base. A double kill for Aggressive. Observer, go up there! They're going to try and take him down, and it looks like that's Kuro dead as well as Miracle for 90 seconds. GH is down as well.
That was really smart of them to TP all the way back to the fountain so that they didn't actually have Liquid had no idea that they were all the way back in the base.
Oh my God.
Matoma Man did have Refresher, so he could potentially he's actually getting mana, but he doesn't have any mana. That's somewhat of an issue this late into the game.
I think the VGJ potentially could have done it, though, at this point now. It's so hard to hold against this. They've got the Lincoln Sphere there for Juggernaut. They're hitting the tier 4s. Matumbaman is going to have to carry his little heart out.
And there are no buybacks. Marana invested in that Butterfly in BOT2 and does not.
Oh, my
It's not
control
gonna be
jumps in, going to try and pull back one. They're hitting onto the tier 4s. They need the damage from the base, but it's just not happening. And so many creeps, so much right clicks. The sleep is there. I don't think that they got it, though. I think that VGJ might have eventually done it. It's taken them so long, but the throne is falling, and GG gets called. You can hear that crowd.
My God.
They're loving it.
What a game. What a game.
And only game number 1 as well. Oh, my God. Well, 78 minutes later, the longest game by far of the series, and maybe even the qualifiers, to be honest. Not a lot of people gave Vici J a chance in this one, but ROTK through his plays, through his drafting,
was MVP.
He made it work.
Yeah, easily. And he played very, very well throughout the entire game, and he did get caught out a couple times in the later game, but this game wouldn't have even lasted 45 minutes had he not made those huge plays in the mid game. And it just took 20,000 gold lead for Vici to get really rambunctious and up in there and careless. And maybe that be a lesson to them to, do the slow siege right. I always think back to like how like one of the previous iterations of Secret, they always push with like Solar, Glimmer, and Lotus on like the hero that's hitting the tower, and they just didn't really take those precautions. And usually you see that from Chinese teams. If they have a life stealer, every time Rage is up, they're gonna hit the tower, and then every time Rage is down, they're gonna be back. And they could have easily done that with Spin, right? And they would not have. It wouldn't have been a game this epic, but at the same time, I think they should have been able to close it out very long time ago.
Well, that's going to do it for us for game number 1. Game number 2, I don't know what to expect. That one was nuts. Do you think that they're going to let the Naga Siren through again?
I don't think they mind it so much.
Yeah.
I don't think they mind it
I mean,
so
they
much.
won.
Especially when they think they could have won earlier. Like, if you're in the shoes like, yeah, we won, but we could have won way earlier. It's not like, oh, my God, we won. We should have lost that game. That's not really what they're thinking right now. So I think they're like very comfortable with the draft that they were given, the pace of the game, and a little bit of mistakes probably would be their most unhappy part and ruminations about the game, as opposed to hero drafts and strategy overall.
Okay. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for that one. We're going to be back in just a little bit with game number 2. It's Liquid facing off against VGJ.